Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to my channel Math Saptaram. Today, we are going to see 12th lecture on functions of bounded variation. Okay, so let's start today's session now. Today, we are going to discuss when a functions of bounded variation is continuous. Okay, under which condition? So, we are going to prove this result. Okay. Let A and B belongs to real set such that A is less than B and F close interval AB to R be a function of bounded variation. Then first, if C belongs to close A B open interval, then F is right continuous at C if and only if BF function is right continuous at C. Okay. Second one, if C belongs to open A B close, then F is left continuous at C if and only if BF is left continuous at C. Okay, so let's prove it. Let's prove part 1. First, assume that BF is right continuous at C, where C belongs to close A B open. Okay. Now then we will show that F is right continuous at C. Okay. Okay. Since F is since VF is right continuous at C given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that VF x minus VFC is less than epsilon, because the function is monotonically increasing for all x belongs to closed interval AB such that x minus C less than delta. Okay, this is the definition of right continuity. In the definition of right continuity, we are taking x from right of C, so x minus C will be non-negative. But since this function VF is monotonically increasing, so this will be satisfied. Okay. Okay. So you can write here. You can write directly here this. But this function, but VF is monotonically increasing. So monotonically increasing means what we have here from there. So it is non-negative because x is satisfying the x is greater than equal to. So this will be VF x minus VFC. I can write like that for all x belongs to closed interval AB such that okay. Now VFXC is this VFX minus VFC. Okay, but this is always less than. Fx minus Fc. Okay, but this part is less than epsilon for all x belongs to closed interval AB such that 0 this. Okay, so what does it mean? It means this implies Fx minus Fc is less than epsilon for all x belongs to closed interval AB such that okay, this implies F is right continuous at C. Okay, so one direction is proved. Now we will assume convergence. conversely assume that f is right continuous at C belongs to closed interval A, B. Okay. We have assumed that f is right continuous at C. Now we will prove that variation function is right continuous at C. It means VF. Okay. Now let epsilon greater than 0. Then first of all observe one thing. Since f closed interval a b to R is a function of bounded variation. Okay. So this we get f closed interval c b to R is also function bounded variation. Okay. Now what is this B F C B? What is this? This is supremum of B belongs to supremum taken over partition S P F over C B. C B. Okay. Now if I am taking a epsilon greater than 0, let epsilon greater than 0. If I will subtract any positive number from this quantity, there will be partition corresponding that ST will be greater than equal to this. Okay. Then there exists a partition P such that BFCB minus epsilon by 2. I am subtracting a positive quantity. Then this is no longer supremum. It means there will be some partition. There will be some partition of CB. Of CB such that this will be strictly greater than ST will be strictly greater than epsilon by 2. Okay. Okay. Let's say equation number 1. Now, since now f is right continuous at C. Okay. Therefore, there exists delta greater than 0 such that f x minus fc will be less than equal to epsilon, is to be less than epsilon by 2 for all x belongs to closed interval a b such that x minus c less than delta. Okay. Now since P is a partition, it will look like C will be x0, x1 will be here, x2 will be here, like that, xn minus 1, xn is equal to. Okay, we assume here without loss of generality. Let's say this is equation number 2. Without loss of generality, assume that x1 minus c, that is non-negative distance, less than delta. Okay. Why we can assume this? Because if the distance of x1 and c is not less than delta, then we can add additional points. Adding additional points in this partition, we will get another partition. Okay. The corresponding xp will increase. So inequality 1 will remain ineffective. Okay. We can understand it. Okay. Without loss of generality, we can assume this is happening, because if P does not satisfy the condition x1 minus c is less than delta, we can add additional points. Adding additional points, we will get another fine partition P dash. The corresponding SP dash will be greater than SP. So taking SP dash in place of SP will not affect the inequality 1. Okay. So we can understand it here. Suppose if x1 minus c distance is greater than equal to, then we can add more points to partition P, and call this new partition P dash. Then P is containing P dash. Then P containing P dash, this implies SP is less than SP dash. So from 1, we have we have BFCB minus epsilon by 2, that was SP, but SP is less than SP dash, so this implies BF in this case, in this equation 1 remains unaffected, remains unaffected. Therefore, without loss of generality, we can assume that in P we have x1 minus c distance is less than delta, but x1 is greater than c, so it will be non-negative. So I have given here argument why we can assume without loss of generality that x1 minus c distance is less than delta. Okay. Now, from equation 1, we have BFCB minus epsilon by 2, that is SP. But what is the SP? Means I can write it Fx1 minus C, okay, minus FC plus summation I goes to 2 to n Fxi minus Fxi minus 1. Okay. So what is this? This is less by equation Fxi minus 1. By equation 2, because the distance between x1 and c is less than delta, so we have by equation 2 this x1 minus fc will be less than epsilon by 2. Okay. Now what is this? This is the, now I am taking the point x1. If you skip the point, okay. So what is this? This is the partition of x1c. So this will be I goes to x1, x2 up to xn is the partition of x1b. So this will be less than equal to plus s p naught, where p naught is nothing but x1, x2, xn is equal to b. Okay. Okay. So what we have, but this will be again less than equal to bf x1b. So what we have actually finally, bf cb minus epsilon by 2 is strictly less than epsilon by 2 plus bf x1b. So what is this? bf cb minus bf x1b less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2. What is this? What is this? This is bf. Now this is bf c x1. Okay, because CB interval can be written as Cx1 union x1b, and we are taking this minus, so Cx1 it is less than epsilon. Now, but bf x1 minus this is non-negative bf c is nothing but bf cx1, but this is less than epsilon, so this implies for all x belongs to closed interval AB such that x minus c less than. So this implies bf variation function is right continuous at t. bf is right continuous at c. Okay. Okay. So this is done. Part 1 is done. Now part 2. First, assume that bf is left continuous at c belongs to open A B closed. Okay. Then given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that because bf function is monotonically increasing function, so this is bf c minus bf x less than epsilon for all x belongs to A B such that C minus x less than delta, because we are taking x from the left. Okay. But the function dx is actually monotonically increasing, so this can be written in this form. So this is non-negative quantity. Okay, let's say, okay, no problem. So this happens. Now, but we know that fc minus fx is always less than bfcx. But that is nothing but, what is this? bfc fc. But this is nothing but, and this is less than for all x belongs to closed interval a b such that, okay. So it means what? This implies fc minus fx less than epsilon or all x belongs to closed interval a b such that so this implies f is left continuous at c. Okay. Now conversely, one direction is conversely assume that conversely assume that bf is left continuous at c belongs to open ab closed. Okay. Since f closed interval ab to r is a function of bounded variation, we get f closed interval ac to r is also function of bounded variation. Okay. So what is, so B f AC is equal to supremum of taking the partition from closed interval AC SP. Okay. Let epsilon greater than 0. Okay. Then there exists P partition of closed interval AC such that VF AC minus epsilon by 2 SP where SP where P is equal to where P is equal to A is equal to X naught X1 like that. X1 is equal to C. Okay. Let's say it's equation number 3. Now, since now F is left continuous now F is left continuous at C. Okay. Therefore, there exists delta greater than 0 such that F C minus Fx less than epsilon by 2 for all x belongs to AB such that okay. Let's say equation number 4. Now, without loss of generality, without loss of generality, we assume that C minus X n minus 1 is less than delta. Okay. If it does not exist, C minus X n minus 1 is greater than equal to delta, then we can, giving the same argument as we have given in part first, in the proof of part first, that we can add additional points. So we will get new partition. So infinity 3 will not be affected. Okay. SP dash will be greater than equal to SP. Okay. So infinity 1 will not be affected. That is why without loss of generality, we can assume that C minus Xn minus distance is less than SP less than delta. Now, from 3, we have VF AC minus epsilon by 2 less than SP. But what is SP actually? I can write this. I goes to 1 to n minus 1 Fxi minus Fxi minus 1. And what is this? F C minus Fx n minus 1. Okay. Now this is because distance of C and xn minus 1 is less than delta, so this will be less than epsilon by 2. So this is less than epsilon by 2 by equation equation 4 by 4. Now what is this? I goes to 1 to n. What is this partition? So this is less than equal to S P naught plus epsilon by 2. Here P naught is equal to epsilon x1. Okay. Xn minus 1 is partition of A xn minus 1. Okay. So this, then what will be this? This will be S P naught will be less than B F A xn minus 1 plus epsilon by 2. So finally what you got? B F A C minus epsilon by 2 is less than B F A xn minus 1 plus epsilon by 2. Okay. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. So I should write here for all x1 belongs to AB such that this happens. That is why this is right continuous at C. Okay. In part 1. Okay. Similarly, we have to correct here. So what does it mean? It means BFAC minus BFA xn minus 1 less than epsilon by 2 plus epsilon by 2. So this implies, what is this? This is BF xn minus 1 C less than epsilon. For all xn minus 1 belongs to AB such that C minus xn minus 1 less than delta. Okay. We can, because given in part 1, given x1, we can find a partition, corresponding partition whose distance from A is from C is less than x1 minus C less than delta, corresponding partition. Similarly here, x1 minus 1, we can make a partition whose distance from C is less than delta. Okay, for each xn minus 1 satisfying this. So we have this. So this implies Bf x n minus 1 C, but this is less than epsilon. For all x n minus 1 belongs to closed interval AB such that 0 C x n minus 1 less than that. So this implies BFC minus BF x n minus 1 is less than epsilon for all x n minus 1 belongs to closed interval AB such that so this implies BF is left continuous at C. Okay. So we have proved that if f is function of bounded variation, if f is right continuous at C, then BF is a variation function is also right continuous at C. It is if and only if statement. Now, if f is left continuous at C, then BF is left continuous at C, and this is if and only if statement. Now we are going to do one corollary. Let A, B belongs to real number set such that A is strict less than B and F closed interval AB to R be a function of bounded variation at bounded variation be a function of bounded variation then F is continuous if and only if BF is continuous. So its proof is obvious. So let C belongs to open interval AB. Then by theorem F is continuous at C if and only F is left continuous, left and right continuous at C. But F is left continuous. This happens by theorem that BF is left continuous, left and right continuous at C. If a function is left and right continuous, both does it mean? Function is continuous at that point. It means BF is continuous at C. Okay. Now, if Now if C is equal to A, now C is equal to A, so F is continuous at A if and only F is right continuous at A. By theorem, if F is right continuous at A, it means BF is right continuous at A. BF is, this is if and only right by the theorem. Yes, right continuous at A. It means BF is continuous at A. Now, if C is equal to B, then what? If we say that F is continuous at B, F is continuous at B if and only if F is left continuous at B. If and only if F, so if F is left continuous at B, it means by theorem BF is left continuous at B. Continuous at B. So what does it mean? It means because B and A are boundary points. If I say B is because B is a right point of the interval, so there is no space beyond on the right of the B. Okay, so that is why being left continuous at B, it means being continuous at B. Similarly, there is no space in the left of A, so being right continuous at A is same as continuous at A. F is continuous at A. Okay, function is continuous at A. Same here, BF is left continuous at A. It means BF is continuous at B. So we have what we have finally we have proved that finally for any C belongs to closed interval AB, F is continuous at C if and only BF is continuous at C. Okay. Okay. Hence, F is continuous and F is continuous on AB. Okay. Closed interval AB. If only if BF is continuous on AB. So we have proved the corollary. Okay. So in today's lecture, what we have done, we have shown that if you have a function of bounded variation and F is left continuous at C, then if and only BF is left continuous at C. And if F is right continuous at C, if and only BF is right continuous at C. Using that fact, we have shown that you take any, we have proven in a corollary, you take any point. If F is continuous at C, if and only F is continuous, BF is continuous at C. So it means if F is function of bounded variation, if F is continuous on closed interval AB, then BF is also continuous on closed interval AB, and this is if and only. Okay. So thank you very much for today's lecture. If you have any program related to this lecture, you can comment me on my YouTube channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe my YouTube channel. If you so thank you very much for today's lecture. Thank you very much. We will see you in next lecture. Thank you very much.